Yes, hello there and welcome to today's episode of Weekend Rewind. Yes, this is when we put our hands back into the Join Up Dots vaults, swirl it around a bit and find an episode that maybe has got lost in the midst of time. And this is in response to the amount of requests we get from people who say, David, with all the episodes you've released, where should we start? Well, it's very hard to find a place, so we're just going to randomly pick one, and this is today's episode. Enjoy.
When we're young, we have an amazing, positive outlook about how great life is going to be, but somewhere along the line, we forget to dream and end up settling. Join Up Dots features amazing people who refuse to give up and chose to go after their dreams. This is your blueprint for greatness. So here's your host, live from the back of his garden in the UK, David Ralph.
Yes, it's me. It's David Ralph. It is Join Up Dots. It is a fully infused, excitable podcasting host today because I'll tell you what happened before this show even recorded. I contacted the lady on the other end of the line, aka the guest, and she told me, I am naked. She said, I am sitting here with just headphones on and I am naked. I don't know why she's French, but she said, and I'm going to find out if she is actually just leading me down the path or if she actually is sitting there completely naked, because I tell you what, that's going to be good. I'm going to make this into the first webcam episode when we switch on the camera, and that's going to be downloads for you, gentlemen. Whoever you are across the world, you ask me and I'll send it to you because it's going to be good. Anyway, I am excited because she is a lady who has stumbled into the entrepreneurial world, and that's what I love about Join Up Dots. She's the owner of Ash Said It Limited Company, which is a full-service public speaking boutique hosting receptions, fashion expos, as well as upscale soirées. Which, see, she's French, which sounds great, but it's the joining up of the dots which is the most important part of this show. So how did the ex-military lady transition from Uncle Sam to Fashion Avenue? Well, as she says, I had no plans to build a company. The thought never even crossed my mind. The past few years have been tough. I took care of my mum for 3.5 years, and being a full-time carer is a lot, although I would easily do it again. My mother never taught me how to be a lady. She showed me through her actions. She never let anyone take advantage of her meek yet resilient spirit. Thank God I inherited that spark. Now, unfortunately, I buried my mum in 2014, which was the most difficult thing I've ever done in my entire existence, and I was lost. My heart was no longer in military service. I needed to leave, but I had no blueprint on where to go. I did many odd jobs that year, helped build multiple brands, and had nothing to show for it. Then one day, a light bulb went off in my head, or over the head. Probably over the head is a better one. Why the heck am I wasting time helping people disinterested in helping themselves? Why don't I pour my 13.5 years of industry experience into something I can call my own? And that's when Ash Said It was born. And at that point, we will start the show, as it's a moment that every one of our guests have hit in their own lives. That moment when they realise that their life is their own and everything they do should be on their own terms. It's the responsibility to create their own future. So how did she move from this idea of creating a business to actually earning her first dollars and attracting her first clients? And looking back on it all, has it been harder than she could have imagined, or simply a dream from start to finish? Well, let's find out as we bring onto the show to start joining up dots with the one and only completely naked Ash Brown. Good morning, Ash. Good morning. Are you still totally naked? Are you just exciting me? What was going on in your head?
Good morning, David. Good morning, audience. Okay, David. I think that we had a little miscommunication, because, you'd asked me if I had on, my headphones, and you said nothing else running in the background. So you may want to look past that message again, look kind of over that. I am not naked. I am in my PJs, but I'm ready to chat about Ash Said It LLC.
Why is it when I try to get a lady naked, they always say it's miscommunication? That happens to me every single day. It really does. But you are in Atlanta in your PJs. It's early in the morning, and you are a lady that is building something. And because you're building something, you are taking such a personal and professional pride in it, which maybe, I might be on the wrong track here, but maybe you wouldn't have felt so much if it was somebody else's dream you was building. Would that be true?
Not necessarily, because I'm always passionate about every brand that I've ever worked with and brands that I still work with to this day. But I take another personal interest in my own because this is Ash Said It is my baby. AshSaidIt.com, that is my baby. That is my everything. I pour my whole heart and soul into it. Um, and just that's just where I'm at. That's just where I'm at the moment.
And is it going to be a transitional piece? Obviously, we're going to delve back into how it's all occurred, but is it something that you feel is the beginning of the dream? You're going to find the real dream while building the first one?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, and everything has always constantly just been changing and evolving with Ash Said It from last year to this year. Last year I started the company to this year. So much has changed. I've had to restructure my marketing strategies. I've had to restructure business plans. So everything is always evolving, and it really is just an amazing journey to be on this journey and to be on this ride and see how things are evolving and see how people are connecting with me and see how I'm connecting with the world is nothing short of amazing.
It is amazing, isn't it? Just the fact that I'm
is.
sitting here talking to you and you're in your pajamas, and I won't tell you what I'm wearing. It would be too shocking for you. But the fact that we can have these connections, and it really does emphasize the point, and I try to get this across in the show every single day, that it's a very big world and it's jammed packed with potential customers. It's the networking opportunities that just explode by, using Skype, for example. I reckon there's so many businesses that literally without Skype wouldn't be operational, but it's a way of connecting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. And people sleep. You would be surprised on how many businesses today sleep on social media and sleep on these social platforms and don't have a website. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is not 1998. You need a website to showcase yourself. You need something that people globally, don't think just locally of where you live. Think about people out in the UK that may need your services, may need your product. And it's like me personally, it's a blessing that I was able to work with so many brands over the years and understand what social networking is and understand how to use it for business and for promotional purposes, that it was just like, second nature for me to do it for Ash Said It. So when I see companies and places, I'm like, you need a website. You need to at least get your social media stuff. That stuff is free, okay? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, that's stuff that you can just do for free. And it doesn't cost you any money. It just costs you a little time to get things set up. But it's mind-boggling that there are companies out there that do not have websites.
but there would have been a time that you didn't have a website. There must have been a time at the beginning. And this is one of the things that I'm interested in, because at the moment with Join Up Dots, I'm probably on the fourth reincarnation of my website. And you can go back on, Wayback Machine, and see how it's progressed. And little by little, you change and you add something and you take something off and you move it. The very first one, you created your first website. You decided that you were going to do it. How did you decide on the angle? Because that's the key, I think, that people struggle with until later on in their journey when their true branding comes through. At the beginning, it's almost like, here's a product and buy it. Come and buy it. Just come with me and I will mow your lawn on a weekend. I will feed your dog. I will sleep with your wife. Anything you want, just buy my products. And it just screams of kind of desperation, doesn't it? And I know my first site was very much like that. Now, little by little, it's more about me and how I can help people more than actually buy anything. What was your first one? And did it fall into those same traps?
Well, not necessarily. For me, I guess because I look at myself as more, I'm the talent. It's more of a service-based company at the moment. I'm working on some other things, but it's more as a service-based. So I was like, okay, I don't have necessarily a product to sell, but I need to let people see me and understand, okay, this is who Ash is. This is what Ash does. So what I did was I had a couple of bookings for a couple of MC gigs for women's empowerment breakfast. And so I had one of my friends videotape it, edit it down, put everything perfect. And the site was very skeletal. It was very much like, about Ash, This is what Ash does. This is how you can contact Ash. So to see the evolution of where it is now to, offering services as far as like blog features on Ash Said It, people can book me from the website. They can look at the different places that I've been. They can look at the different things that I've been involved with now. So now it's been slowly but surely. But that first site was, it was kind of rocky, because all I could do was put up pictures of myself and show people me at events. And like I said, the promotional video that I did. So it was very skeletal, but definitely helped to, be the stepping stone on what I was doing.
And when you said it was very rocky, it wasn't the kind of you dressed up as a boxer in a ring, because I would love to see that.
Not exactly. When I say rocky, it was just because I didn't know what I was doing really. As far as how was I going to promote myself, I'm used to promoting a product. If I was promoting like an indie artist, I was promoting their new single or their album, or I was promoting a new product service or whatever the case was. I usually had some kind of tangible product that I could promote and push. Well, when Ash Said It started, I didn't have that. I was like, okay, well, they need to at least see me and know who I am. And, if nothing else, they can see me, they can see what I do, and they can make the judgment call from that as far as, okay, do we want to take this girl serious? Do we want to hire her for this? Okay. All right, let's work on that.
You're going to have pictures of you in your PJs now. People are going to listen to this show. They're going to come across and they're going to say, that's the woman I want. Somebody who can be up at the crack of dawn and still rock it in her PJs. That'd be quite a good branding, wouldn't it? Rocking in your PJs. I bet there's a whole world of entrepreneurs, but that's their utopia, isn't it? About not getting up anymore and staying in their PJs. I've just created a business. There you go. Trademark.
I think you did. Bam.
So when you get to that point, because I've gone through this journey as well, and I've realised now that the branding of Join Up Darts isn't the name, it's me. And it's taken me a long time to realise that. And once you start to realise that, you relax into it and you realise actually you don't have to play at being anyone else other than yourself. So it may surprise you, Ash, but I'm a little bit of an idiot. And I embrace that fact now. I enjoy actually being an idiot, but it's an idiot with depth. If somebody wants me to help them create their company, I can do, because I know it inside out now. But I don't actually have to play at being the kind of business suit, entrepreneur, business coach kind of person, because that's not me. I can find my tribe by being myself.
Right.
Is that the kind of thing that will resonate with so many people, that it's the fast track, or do you need to go through the journey that you and me have gone through, where finally you realise actually I'm the product, not all the other things I'm doing it, I'm the product?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that everyone's journey is going to be different. Some people are going to come to that realization a little bit sooner than others. For me, I'm not going to lie. I think that I knew that I was meant to do this a long, long time ago, especially when I was in radio, and I was actually in the world of radio. And I remember interning with a major station, and one of the disc jockeys was just so open with the audience and just telling them about, I think her mother had surgery or something, and she mentioned it on air one day. And then the next day, like one of the listeners called up and was like, hey, how's your mother doing? What hospital is she at? Blah, blah, blah. And I just remember that rapport of her with the listener and being like, I don't want people to talk to me. I don't want people to know my personal business. I don't want them to ask about my family. And so I really just kind of shied away from it. Even though I knew what I was doing and I knew how to be an announcer, I was not interested in being known. I wanted to be in the background. I didn't want to be known. I didn't want anybody to know me. I wanted to just blend into the background and just have it be what it was. And it was weird. It was like the universe kept showing me, no, you're meant to be out in the forefront. You're not meant to be in the background. And when my mother passed and I really just had nothing going on, I just wanted to feel important. I wanted to feel like I was utilizing my skills. And so that's why I went on to do producer work for several reality shows, improv comedy shows, music videos. But in me doing those things, I wasn't enjoying it. I was utilizing my talents, but I wasn't enjoying it. And so when I decided, I was like, you know what? These people are crazy. I'm not dealing with them anymore. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I know that I do not want to deal with them. And so that's when I just really just took myself away from everyone and all those situations and all that negativity. And I sat and thought, I said, what are my skills? What can I do? What do I enjoy doing? What is second nature to me? And it just came to me speaking, talking. People always connect with me more when I'm just myself and I'm just being Ash versus I've had teleprompter jobs where I've had to be like a video journalist and read off of a teleprompter. That's not Ash. That is not Ash at all. And just being myself in front of a camera has just been really second nature for me. And so when I knew that I had to just jump off into it, I just went and did it. And it has been a roller coaster ride since. I've learned so much more about myself and how to deal with others since. And it really comes from a place of, you know what? You knew that you were supposed to be doing this. You just kept running from it.
I think that's it. That is it, isn't it? Because I feel that, and I think every single one of my guests feels that. You know, I am now 100%, probably more than that. Do you hate people that go 160%? And I think, you can't have more than 100%. Just go with 100%. But in this point, I'm 110%. That's how certain I am that my future is on the microphone. But the funny thing is, Ash, and I don't know if you've had this as well, and this is something that we talk about, is when you take the entrepreneurial leap, most of the time you are leaving a pain situation. You're leaving a company that you no longer like working for. More often than not, you don't like the people or some of the people that you're working with. And so you kind of leave and you go, right, I'm not going to do any of that again. That is the past life. I'm going to move. And then about 3 years down the line, you kind of think, well, actually, it wasn't all bad. And I've got so many skills and talents that I used to be able to do really easy. And you start bringing those back into your business. There's like no stone unturned. I'm now back onto the public speaking forum, where for a while I thought, no, I've done that for years, I can't be bothered. And now I kind of think, yeah, I quite fancy getting up in front of an audience and you know, talking about subjects and stuff. That's what I used to do. Why not do it again? Bring it all together. You feel the same?
Absolutely. And a similar thing happened with me. Before I joined the Army and before I was taking care of my mom and everything, I was working with an internet radio station. And I'd worked with them for several years and I really had time invested into it. I was very passionate about it. Like I said, when I love something and when I believe in something, I pour my whole everything into it. And I was doing a lot of different things with them and we were getting global attention. And the owner of the company passed on a $2.5 million deal. And that's when I decided, I was like, I'm going to step away from this because I'm doing something wrong. I must be doing something wrong. If this person can pass on such a prosperous deal that's going to help everyone in this circle, I must be doing something wrong. And that was my moment that I was fed up. I said, you know what? To heck with this. I'm over it. I'm done with it. I'm not touching this stuff again. I'm not dealing with public arena. I'm not going to do any of that stuff. And I just left it on the shelf. And it was probably about, that was maybe about 5 years ago. And, you know, fast forward, I'm using all of the skill sets and all of the major contents that I still had. I'm using all that stuff with Ash Said It. So everything serves a purpose in your life. And, yeah, that was my total like fed up moment. Like, you know, we're working hard. We're pouring everything into this company and we're doing what we can. And for them to pass on a deal like that, that really was a slap in the face to me. And I just left everything on the shelf.
You'll have those deals going forward, won't you? You will have those deals.
Absolutely. And
you'll be turning them down, and your employees will be going, "What's she done? What's she done? I've worked for her for 15 years, and she's just turned down this $2.5 million deal. I heard her on Join Up Dot's podcast. She's a hypocrite. That's the problem. It's going to come back and bite you now. You've got to accept every deal that comes in front of you.
No, no, but the deals have to be right. That's one thing that I've learned. The deals have to be right. The connections have to be right. The contracts have to be right. Because not every person that comes in front of you is someone that you need to work with. And that's another big deal that I learned in the last year. It's been a learning curve for me because this is the first time that I've been actually in the driver's seat, in the leadership type position with a company. So every single thing that I do, I have to really comb over it with a fine-tooth comb and figure out, okay, is this best for Ash Said It? Is this best for our future? Is this going to help us grow? Is this going to grow our audience? Is this going to be better for our future?
So do you just use your spider senses when you meet somebody? Do you think, oh, I don't like them. I don't like them. I don't care.
I do. Yeah. And you know what? That's just me. You know, some people can feel some type of way about it. I get a sense off of people when I meet them. Like if I meet them and the first thing they're asking me, okay, well, can you hook me up with this person? Or can you give me so and such contact? Well, you're just using people. Yeah. And I don't work with people that's like that. I can't associate myself with folks that's like that. Or if we're working together and I'm always giving you business information or business advice and you're never there to help me or you're never there to support me in any aspect, that's a one-sided situation. You're a user. And yeah, I do. I totally go off of my Ash BZ sense, my Ash Said It sense.
I've had a couple of times recently that for some bizarre reason I switched off my spider senses and everything was tingling in my body that these people were not good to work with, but I kind of ignored it. I don't know why. Well, I kind of do know. There was kind of easy money sitting on the table and it seemed so easy that I should have said, as my mum would say, if it seems so good, it probably isn't, or whatever she used to say. And I just kind of ignored what it was until I was about only a short period in, about 4 months or whatever into it. And I thought, nah, these people are bad people. I need to back out. And I lost a bit of cash on it. But yeah, it is weird why we switch off our spider senses, which is one of the things I'm going to play now, actually, because it ties in nicely to this conversation about how we have that inner voice that knows all the answers and it's up to us to actually sit down and listen to them. Here's Oprah.
The way through the challenge is to get still and ask yourself, what is the next right move? Not think about, oh, I got all of this stuff. What is the next right move? And then from that space, make the next right move and the next right move. And not to be overwhelmed by it because you know your life is bigger than that one moment. You know you're not defined by what somebody says is a failure for you, because failure is just there to point you in a different direction.
They are good words, aren't they?
Absolutely. Words to live by, and totally the way that, like I said, this past year, it has been a tumultuous year, and I've really been able to really look inside myself and do exactly like Oprah said, is like, just take a stop, pause, turn off everything, calm down, and just really think about what your next move is going to be and how it's going to be connected. And should these people be in your circle? It's been so many people that have been around me because they look at my background. They can Google me. They can look me up and see who I've been connected with. And I've had so many people, and a couple have slipped through the cracks, but they eventually were eliminated. And when eliminated, I mean taken out of the circle. I didn't have them offed. Okay, yeah. Do not think that we do that here in the States.
You're in with the Atlanta mob. It's coming out on this show. The PJ Squad.
I love your accent, by the way. That's so cool. I always wanted to have like a British accent.
You've got a great accent. You remind me. I tell you who you remind me of. I imagine. Do you remember that lady from the Tom and Jerry cartoons?
Yeah.
Thomas. That's who you remind me of, and you can't get better than that.
No, it doesn't get any better than that. That kind of reference that totally works.
Yeah, you see, that's what you want to do. Just shout down the stairs all the time and you'll be perfect. But no, when you are sort of, hang on, I can't even remember what the question was now. What was the question? Oh, it's about talking about our inner voice, wasn't it? Right, our inner voice tells us, yeah. Not about Tom and Jerry. We can't go talking about that for the rest of our time. You don't have... Tom and Jerry's not on the telly. Oh, sorry, I've gone back into it. Right, we'll do this on our second episode. Now, it's too much violence. Tom and Jerry's too violent. So when you listen to your inner voice, it's all right once you've got a bit of background history that you can kind of look at your past mistakes and you kind of understand where it's going. How did you do it right at the very beginning? How did you kind of get your first client? Because that is the big moment when you kind of go, hang on, I actually earned my own money and it's all mine. It's all mine. How did you do that? How did I do that? I had to really sit back and wait for a really great opportunity to come my way.
And when I sat back and I was like, okay, I can put myself out there. I can put ads in the newspaper. I can push this social media tip and I can do all these different things. And I got clients that are people that were potential clients that would contact me, but one or two things would be off with them. And it would totally kind of set me off and be like, okay, I think that these people aren't serious. Like I had people, because I'm also a wedding officiant, so I do weddings. And I had people contacting me that said, "Oh yeah, we want to do a wedding in Atlanta, blah blah blah." And I said, "Okay, well, this is the booking fee, and this is when I need the remainder of it, and these are the potential dates that I have open." And I said, "Oh yeah, 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 yeah." And so they would pay the deposit, and then they wouldn't pay the balance, and they would still expect me to be, just show up or whatever. I was like, no, look at the contract. Okay, if you didn't pay within this time period, I'm not coming." And so that I had to really put my foot down with that because I was just so used to, oh, well, I love doing what I do and everything's wonderful with it. I'll just do it just because. No, when you're a business owner and you want people to take you serious, you need to stick by your word. And if they sign a contract saying that they're going to pay you within, I think it was like 10 days of the actual date of whatever it is, they forfeit their deposit. I'm not giving anything back. And I'm not showing up at your place. So that was the first time that it really kind of irked me because I have such a resilient, just meek spirit from my mom. And I want to love on everyone. I want to help everyone. But at the same token, I'm not going to get taken advantage of. So it took me a good minute. When I got my first good client, I was like, okay, see, if I stand my ground and I say what I'm going to do and they agree to it, and they actually follow through, things go perfectly. Things go great.
And how long did that take you?
How long did that take? That took probably about 4 or 5 months. So I had my really good
how did you
client.
not go through? Yeah, how did you not go for that period? 5 months of laying in bed every night thinking, "Oh, what have I done? What have I done? I had the salary. I was being paid by Uncle Sam, and how did you push through that? Because 5 months is quite a long time. It's not as long as I had, actually. But it's
absolutely.
I went longer.
But eBay is our friend. I sell a lot of stuff on eBay, and I work with a lot of different thrift shops here in Atlanta. So I was able to make the money back up for, as far as rent, utilities, things that I needed. So I was able to still make some money, but I had to absolutely make some cuts on things that were not necessarily necessities. We'll call them luxuries. So I had to cut out a lot of different things that I used to do on the regular basis, like get my nails done. I started doing my own hair.
You let yourself go, Ash. That's what you did. You let yourself go at the time you should have been attracting your clients. You're sitting there with hair that hasn't been done for weeks, in your PJs, with dirty nails. That's not going to work.
But we worked it out. We worked it out perfectly. So when I did start to get clients, I was able to get some of those luxuries back and, do Ash and keep up with the brand and continue to build the brand. But in those building stages, it was kind of rough. I'm not going to sit up here and lie about it and act like, oh, everything was perfect and everything was on point. No, I had to cut back on a lot of stuff that I used to love. I couldn't go out and hang out at the clubs or go to this party or that party because that was money that I needed for my bills. So it's like you make those decisions as a business owner of what you're going to do next. You don't want to overspend anything, and you don't want to put yourself in a situation that, you're building debt or anything crazy of that nature is coming about. So you've got to really think, for the first time, and I say this to people all the time, this is the first time that I actually felt like a real adult because my mom has always been there with every major decision that I've ever made with the different companies that I've worked with or the different brands that I've been a part of and modeling, acting, all those different things. My mom was always there. She was always my first in command. She was the first one that I would tell about stuff. She was the first person I would get opinions on. So this was the first time that now when I made a decision, it was final and there was no one to check with. There was no one to get an opinion with. And I had to be okay with that because that's just what I'm faced with. So it was quite the transition, but I think that it was definitely character building. And it showed me that, you know what, you don't necessarily need all these different things going on. You need to make sure that your company's on track and you need to make sure that you're building the correct business relationships.
Oh, I love this. I love this because this is raw, this is honest, this is open.
Yeah.
One of the things that I hate, Ash, and I'll be honest, I hate this, is when you hear it on so many shows where they go, oh, an entrepreneur jumps off the cliff and builds the parachute on the way down. And I always think, well, it's all right if you've got all the parachute bits already, but if you haven't, you're just going to plummet to your death. But what you've done is you've basically gone, look, I'm going to put my ego to the side. I'm going to do everything I can. I'm going to get rid of Netflix. I'm going to start reading books instead of cable TV. I'm going to let myself go and become a scruffy woman, which is... It's all right. It's all right. You've sorted yourself out now, and hygiene's come back into your life, which is important, Ash. Don't ever lose the hygiene. And little by little, you get to a point where you can start replacing your income. And I think that's absolutely right. I've talked about it so many times that when I transitioned from my corporate gig, I probably spent the first 3 years beforehand doing what you did, reducing everything in my house so that I could... take the leap. I could take the leap and it wouldn't be too bad. But I was still about 40% down from what I was earning in corporate land, even at that stage. So then I did odd jobs. You know, I was delivering food in the evenings and stuff. I was on the podcast sort of saying to people, yes, you can do it. And I was actually doing it. You know, that was the thing. And if anything, I wish I could go back into those early episodes and kind of be a little bit more open and honest that I was actually hustling at that time. I think I was playing the part of podcast host, and what I should have been doing was going back and sort of saying, look, guys, I'm actually on the journey at the moment. You can follow me along. So I think that's a bit of a failing, but I wasn't comfortable with myself at that time. But this is the blueprint that everyone can follow. Get an idea, make sure that it's congruent with your beliefs, then start hustling, building up networks, connections, looking at other people's businesses, mirroring and modeling and making sure that you're doing something that feels right to yourself and buys into your talents, and then do everything you can around that idea to make sure that that idea happens. And if it means selling all your clothes on eBay, then do it. You know, because you've only got one life, and it's the dream, isn't it? We were born to dream, and we were born to create, and that's what makes us different from dolphins, Ash.
Absolutely. And the main thing, too, is with me, I've just never looked at other people as, oh, my competition. You know, a lot of people would say when I was building Ash Said It, oh, you should model like this person, or you should model yourself after how this person did that. I'm an original. And I can't model, I can't look at the quote unquote competition. So I never feel pressure to compete with this person. Oh, this person's doing this. Oh, well, I'm going to do that. Oh, they're doing this. Oh, I'm going to do that. No, I do what feels right for Ash to do for Ash's company, because that is what is going to make the difference. That is what's going to make history.
Yeah,
and
I agree with
what's going
you.
to make it, you know?
I do agree with you, but it's still a fast track to actually look at what other people are doing that you want to do and get ideas. Stay unique to yourself. But when you look at their like websites, for example, and you think, oh, I didn't think of doing that. That's another income stream that I can build into it. I'm going to, you know, so you need to look around, don't you? Be authentic, be original, but look around.
Yeah, definitely. And when I say look around, I'm thinking more of like copycat, like you're doing everything exactly like that person's doing. You're using their tag phrase. You're using the t-shirts that they use and the pants or whatever the case is. No, when you're looking at it as an objective part of as far as a business model, yeah, it's okay to look at other people and say, like you said, okay, oh, snap. I didn't even think about doing that. I'm totally going to do that. Okay, I can do this for ideas wise. But when it comes down to like copycatting people, don't be a carbon copy. Stay original, stay true to yourself, because there's nothing worse than seeing someone that absolutely positively just totally steals someone's style, someone's flair, someone's energy.
Be yourself, be yourself. Oh, no, that's not the words, but yeah, I felt like singing there. I felt like singing. You make me want to sing, Ash. I think the two of us, I'm going to come over to Atlanta. I went to church in Atlanta. There's a big church. And I was walking past the side of it, and this man... No, I wasn't, actually. I walked in there just to have a look. So I opened the door, because it was a Sunday morning. I'd been to Martin Luther King's house, and it was just down the road from where he lived, and there was this big church. And I opened the door, and a man went, come in, come in. And I thought, oh, I was only checking to see if it was, no, come in. And so I went to my one and only gospel session in an Atlanta church. And it was a fun place. And I think that's what life should be. Wherever you go, it should be fun. You should want to sing, shouldn't you? You want to wake up each morning and sing and laugh and enjoy yourself and make love to strangers on buses and whatever you want to do, as long as the other person wants it. And it's not the driver. You cannot make love to drivers because they've got to keep their eyes on the road. That's the only caveat to that.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have to have a positive outlook on life. And that's one thing that I've also learned this year, too, is when you have negative people around you, eventually it's going to catch up with you. You're going to turn negative, too. So you always have to remain optimistic. You've got to stay positive. You've got to worry about your mind, body, and soul are key in your business. Because as Ash Said It, like I said, Ash Said It is my baby. That is my baby. I love Ash Said It to the depths of the soul and beyond. So everything that happens with Ash Said It is a reflection of me. So I always want the best positive image of Ash Said It out there in the universe. So I always just keep myself around positive people because they're going to motivate you. They're going to encourage you. Someone that's around you is like, oh, that Ash Said It, that's not going to work out. Nobody ever did that. I never seen nobody do nothing like that. That's stupid. That ain't going to work. You need to get away from those people because they have something that happened in their life that didn't come to pass, and they don't want you to see your dream come to pass. That was
your Tom and Jerry voice.
Spirit.
That was, that was your Tom and Jerry voice. That came out. You see, you're channeling that woman again, Thomas. So when you're doing your thing. Mm-hmm. Is there times when you're doing it and you think, oh, God, this is just too easy. I'm having too much fun here. But when you look back on it, the quality just increased massively, but it just seemed easy and fun and brilliant. Do you have those times?
Yes. Last week I was on the Atlanta's CW affiliate, CW69, and I was talking, I'm also a brand ambassador for Juice Bar. And it's a juicing store that's here that you can get your juicing cleanse and all your healthy nutrients and everything in at the Juice Bar. Well, I went to the CW affiliate, and as soon as I got in with the host of the show, she was like, Ash, she looked at me, she said, Ash, I'm tired, I'm drained. I just did like 6 interviews. You're my 7th interview. You're going to have to bring the energy. You're just going to have to bring it. And I was like, you know what? I got you. All right. Cause I'm used to this. I'm used to people putting me on the spot, and I was ready. And sure enough, it was just so effortless. It was seamless for me to be in that interview with her. And if anyone, you can go to ashsaidit.com right now. You can go onto the main page. You can look at the interview. But it was just everybody that hits me up. They're like, oh my gosh, you were having a good time there, weren't you? I was like, yeah, it's a great time. And, I almost basically forgot that I was in an interview because I was having so much fun just living the dream and being Ash and being my authentic self. I wasn't reading off of a teleprompter. It was all free flowing, and it just came out very authentic. And I was really, for the first time, really just proud of myself. I was like, wow, I did this. And even though I messed up, because the Juice Bar, it's organic where available. The products and things that they use as far as the whole foods are organic where available. Well, I misspoke during the interview and I said everything is organic, and the corporate came down on me and was like, look, you're gonna have to take that part out of the interview because everything is not organic. It's organic where available. So when it's available for them to get it, they get it organic. If not, then, it's just the regular stuff. But besides that, everything else was seamless. It was fun. And after it, the host was like, thank you so much, Ash. You got so much energy. Everything was, really great. We really appreciate you and how you brought it to the table. And I think back to when I was in school at Columbus State University, and I was working for Clear Channel at the time. They're iHeartRadio now. And I was talking with my program director, and he would give me commercials to do. He would give me commercial spots to do. And I remember the first time that I did one, he listened to it. He was like, Ash, you are boring in this spot. He said, Ash, this is not a good spot. He's like, you have to create a story with your voice. You've got to create the experience because people cannot see you.
Yeah.
So you've got to excite them with your voice. And from that moment on, I just always carry that with me. So I know, like, when I do different people's shows or when I, begin to get animated with things, I'm putting out the best foot forward because that's just my personality. It's just who I am. And I used to do a lot of YouTube videos, and I was a YouTube partner at one point too. And that also helped a whole bunch in me being in front of a camera. So it is second nature for me to be in front of a camera. You give me a microphone, I'm good. Let's get it.
I've just been banned by YouTube. This morning, I've just been banned from YouTube. My YouTube account has been suspended. And I don't know why. They've just sent me these huge terms and conditions and said to me, you have contravened these terms and conditions. And I want to say to them, well, just tell me what I've done and I'll change it, because I've got no idea what I've done. All I'm doing is putting podcasts on there. They're my content. I've created the content. What have I done?
Right.
But these people, they get too big, Ash. And it's what we should do. We should create our own YouTube.
Absolutely.
And then bring them to their knees like Netflix did to blockbusters, because I want to change the world, and I'm being suppressed by this video monolith.
Yeah, and it's really weird because, like I said, I used to do a lot of YouTube videos. I used to be a partner, so every month or so I would get a check of like $500-$600 from YouTube just from the hits of the videos that I would get. And I want to say it was maybe 2010 or 2011 they stopped the check. So me and several other people that were doing videos were like, well, what gives? What's going on? And they would never give us a definite answer. They would just say, oh, you violated your terms, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And they would never give a definite answer. We tried appealing it several times, never got anything from it. I was like, you know what? I'm just done with them because I'm not gonna sit up there and give you content and have you get paid off of it and you're not paying me. That's not fair. That's not a good deal.
I tell you what, now they know that we are making PJ videos, that black market PJ videos, they're going to come to us. YouTube will come to us, Miss Brown.
Come to us. Absolutely. Yeah. I see that happening.
And I'm going to send them the world's biggest terms and conditions and say to them, there's 2 code words in there. You've got to crack it with some kind of amazing FBI device to find out what I'm actually talking about. Because YouTube, tell me what I've done wrong, but don't just tell me I've done wrong. That seems bad to me. That's
just so, and they feel like they don't have to give a reason. Because that's what us, they wouldn't tell us what we did. And these are people that, like I said, I was making a couple $100 a month, which I was happy with. But I had people that were paying their car notes with these checks. You're talking about like monthly, sometimes even daily checks. So I don't know. It's one of those things. I haven't signed back up with YouTube since.
You know what we're saying here, Ash? What we're saying, and this is the lesson. This is the gold of this show. We're saying that control your future, control your environment. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, but somebody can come along and just take it away from you. That's a key thing, isn't it? By networking with people and providing value and products that is under your control, unless you decide not to do it, it's going to keep on paying you back. But these people that go on to, these people that earn like 7 million a year on YouTube, what would they be like if YouTube suddenly said to them, hang on, you're contravening our stuff? And you go, what? I'm losing 7 million a year? It just seems bizarre. Anyway, I'm on a rant. And YouTube, we're coming for you. We're coming for you.
We're coming hard. Yeah.
It's me and the Jerry lady. She's code word now. Code word. Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry's in Atlanta. She's coming for us. Right, this is the words of Steve Jobs. And we play these every day because they created a whole theme of Join Up Dots. So we're going to hear from him again. Here's Steve.
Of course, it was impossible to connect the dots looking forward when I was in college. But it was very, very clear looking backwards 10 years later. Again, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. You have to trust in something, your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever. Because believing that the dots will connect down the road will give you the confidence to follow your heart, even when it leads you off the well-worn path. And that will make all the difference.
So do you think that you're on a kind of popular path, or are you on the well off path? Have you created your own thing, or are you marching along by the side of other people?
I think that I've created my own path. And much like Steve Jobs said, it's like, as you look back, you're like, oh, wow, this is how everything is connecting. And like I said, even with dealing with those other companies that, may have screwed me out of a lot of money or didn't pay me for these services or that service or whatever, I took a lesson out of all those situations. And it taught me to be more aware of certain things. It taught me to ask questions about different things. And it taught me just to be all around just aware of what I'm dealing with and what is expected in the end. So looking back, it has taught me so much. And I think that everything has taught me everything I needed to know, or most of what I need to know to build Ash Said It and to get Ash to the next level.
And what is the next level then?
The next level is, I don't know, I can't really explain it in too many words. I just know that it's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be a crazy ride. People need to just stay tuned to social media and see what Ash is doing next. But I don't know what the next level is. I just know that I'm ready to get there.
I love that feeling,
because
I've got this feeling in Join Up Dots, and you can reference this back in episode 200, nearly 400 episodes ago, when a guy asked me, what do you want from it? And I kind of had that same answer. I don't know. And it all flooded out of me in feelings. And now I look back on it and I'm kind of where I was 200 episodes ago. I've now built it to the point that we've got training divisions and we've got different things going on. But it all ties up with that belief that you're here to serve. You've got to be here to actually help people. It's not one-way traffic. It's you giving. Did you get the point, Ash? I'm going to keep on going.
Yeah.
Giving. And then once you've done that, you need to give a bit more and then take what crumbs you get back, because those crumbs will get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah. And I mean, that's one big thing with this past year too, is like, I've learned to really, because after my mom passed, I really kind of went through a dark phase where I wasn't really focused on much, and I really wasn't giving back to the community. And so I wanted to give back. And I don't know if you're aware or not, but Gwinnett County in Georgia holds the world's largest Relay for Life event. And it's held at the Gwinnett Fairgrounds every year. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to help volunteer for that. I'm going to be a part of that. It's the world's biggest relay event. It benefits cancer. I'm going to help out with that. So I jumped into it. And sure enough, as I jumped into it, the person that was over the entertainment portion quit. And so they were like, hey, Ash, your background is in radio and stuff. You must know some artists and some people that may want to perform during this year's performances. Could you take that on? And I was like, okay. I had no idea what I had taken on. And I was the entertainment lead. And this is about a 12 plus hour event. So it starts at about 6 p.m. and it ends about 8 a.m. the next day. So from that time, sun up till sundown, we've got performances, we've got food vendors everywhere. I mean, it's thousands of people. I think this year we had like 10,000 people, something ridiculous from all around the world. People come in this one day to celebrate and to uplift people that are dealing with cancer, dealing with being caregivers, those that have passed on. We honor them. And there's just so much that goes into it. And I'm there the whole time from sun up till sundown. And it's me and maybe like 50 other people. And I remember it was like 3 a.m. or something. I just felt like my brain just turned off. And my brain just completely just turned off. And I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing. Where am I? What's going on? But it was a great event to be a part of, because I know that it stood for something bigger and better than me. And I know that it helped to raise funds to help people get to and from their appointments. People that want to get wigs because chemotherapy has taken their hair out. People that need daycare for their kids and while they're getting their service or whatever done. So it all goes back to a really great cause. And I'm glad and I'm thankful that I was a part of it. But now, since Ash Said It has taken a new leap, I'm not going to be able to be as involved next year, unfortunately. but I'm still going to help out with their social media campaigns and all the different things that they've got on locally here that I can do, because I don't know where Ash Said is going to be next May. I don't know what I'm going to be doing. So I did not want to take on that role as lead again because it holds a lot of responsibility as far as accountability with the people, with the artist, with the performers. So I've kind of passed the baton on to someone else now. But I love Gwinnett Relay, and it's a beautiful, beautiful event. If any of you out there ever have the chance to go, it's beautiful. It's awesome. There's tons of food. There's always something to do. Hour to hour, there's something to do from sun up till sundown.
Tell you what you're going to be doing next May, Ash. I'm going to invite you back onto Join Up Dots. Will you come back on Join Up Dots to tell us how you've connected your dots from here to then?
Absolutely.
It will be a delight. And just please, tart yourself up a bit next time. Don't just sort of.
I'll try to do a little better.
Let yourself down. Yeah, just make an effort. That's all I'm saying, Ash. It's professionalism at its best.
Professionalism at its best.
So just before we move on to the Sermon on the Mic, when we send you back in time to have a one-on-one, what is your big dot then? When you look back on everything that's gone to this point with Ash Said It, what is your big dot that you think, yeah, that's really when the heavens opened, the light come down on me, and I thought, this is it. This is where I should be going.
It's a big dot for me. Everything changed when my mom passed. Everything that I thought that I knew, everything that I thought that I was going to do, everything that I thought that I was going to accomplish, everything changed then, because I was doing everything for her. I wanted her to know that I was going to be okay. She always worried about me having a good future, being social with people, because I have social anxiety sometimes. But I wanted to do something that was going to be good for me and also let her know that I'm okay. I'm doing something. So that was really a lot of why I joined the Army, because like I said, I didn't have anything going on at the moment. And I wanted to keep accomplishing something to give her hope, to get well and to get better. And when she passed, it was like, wow, this is my new reality. This is life. And everything that I thought that I knew, out the window. Everything that I thought that I wanted to do, gone. And that's where I started to rediscover, or really discover, who Ash was. Who is this Ash? After her mom, who is she? What is she like? What does she like to do? What doesn't she like to do? And so that was a huge turning point for me, because it totally changed the scheme of my life.
And what you've done, basically, you have started being yourself, and then you're becoming more of yourself, aren't you? That's the key thing. Yeah. You're just adding to what you can naturally do, and people will resonate with that, and some people will hate it. But it's
absolutely.
Just you being who you were born to be.
Right, absolutely. And that's one thing too, is like I enjoy being me. I enjoy being me so much. And anyone that doesn't like me, that's a personal thing. That has nothing to do with me. That's your own personal business. If you don't like me, that's something that you've got to deal with on yourself. I don't care. I don't lose sleep off of people that hate me, people that spew just ugly, nasty rumors. Those people that I had cut off and I stopped connecting with, they went around town and were saying really ugly things about me and telling people different things that were not true and making up stories about me. But the crazy thing about it is, business connections, serious connections that I made after that point, came to me and said, hey, I heard that you did this, blah, 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 blah. But after working with you, you're a really cool chick. Oh, you're nothing like what they said. They said all these things about you, and you're nothing like that. And that's what, the proof is in the pudding. People can say whatever they want to say about you, but when people actually get to know you, they'll know when someone is putting off bad energy just because. They're making up stuff just because. And you have no control over that, so just let it go. You have no control over it. Let it go. Let it be. And just continue being yourself, because the right people, the right circumstances are going to reveal themselves to you. And that's all that matters. You can't worry about the naysayers. If they want to make up stories about you and you're that important to them, hey, Yeah, I say you give them a little bit more extra credit. I need some more PR work. So go ahead and promote me just a little bit more, because you're piquing people's curiosity about me. And so they want to get to know this ugly, crazy person. And oh, she's nothing like that. Go figure.
She's a good person. Do you know what this is?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That is me loving myself. That is me.
Exactly.
I'm going to do it again.
Yeah.
That's the most action I've had in ages. I can't believe it. My wife's going to listen to this and go, what's happening? What's happening on that show? I want to monitor it before you go live. Well, this is, unfortunately, the end of this show, so I can't keep on kissing myself, but this is the part that we call the sermon on the mic, when we send you back in time to have a one-on-one with your younger self. And if you could go back in time and speak to the young Ash, what age would you choose and what advice would you give? Well, we're going to find out, because I'm going to play the theme, and when it fades, you're up. This is the sermon on the mic.
Here we go with the best bit of the show, the sermon on the mic, the sermon on the mic.
All right. If I had a chance to talk to my former self, I would talk to Ashley at age 6. And at age 6, that is when my family moved from New York to Atlanta, Georgia. And it was single-handedly the most terrifying experience ever in life, mostly because we had to move on October the 31st, which is Halloween. And I remember pleading and just crying with my parents and asking them, can they make it another day? At 6 years old, coming to Georgia was scary. And I just would want to tell myself, Ash, it's going to be all right. It's going to be a crazy roller coaster of a ride. It is going to scare you. You're going to be bombarded with hate. People are going to bash your name. But guess what? At the end of the day, you're going to be all right. God loves you. You're going to have people around you that love you and support you no matter what. You're going to get through those tough times, and it will make you a better person that is going to make history. All right? You're going to make history in these history books. So let the naysayers, all the negative people, all the negative vibes of this world that come down on you, let that stuff go. Don't let it affect you. Don't let it deter your path, and continue pushing forward no matter what.
Ash, what's the number one best way that our audience can connect with you?
The number one way that you can connect with me is through ashsaidit.com. All of my contact info was on there. I am One Love Ash across social media, so the number One Love Ash. You can also email info@ashsaidit.com for more details. I do a lot of blogger features nowadays, so you guys can hit me up. And David, I really appreciate you allowing me on your program and to speak with your audience a little bit. And this was fun. We got to do this again.
We are. We're going to do it in May, because it has been an absolute delight having you on the show. So thank you so much for spending time with us today, joining up those dots. Please come back again when you have more dots to join up, because I believe that by joining up the dots and connecting our past is the best way to build our futures. Ash Brown, thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great one.
Wasn't she lovely? Absolutely lovely. She, from beyond the actual recording of the show, she was on time, she was organised, she was professional, she was doing everything right to build those connections. She certainly built a connection with me. I love that lady, and I think that's the first time, or maybe it's not the first time, I'm trying to think, that I've ever invited somebody back on the show live. So I'm looking forward to bringing you more dots of Ash Brown. And if you've got any stories out there of people that you think should be on the show, who are out there hustling, or maybe it's yourself, then let us know, because you are part of the story. You are a Join Up Dots listener, and without you, we haven't got a show. So if you want to be inspiring, motivational, and conversational with us, just connect with us, joinupdots.com, book yourself as a guest. See you again. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Are you tired of the same routine, the 9 to 5, the mundane?
Or perhaps have lost touch with the dreams and passions that led to a life that's a wow and simply don't know where to start? Then Join Up Dots has the answer. Dream Starter Academy is the #1 group mastermind online today, showing our members how to create their own business, lifestyle, or dream job. Teaching you how to find your thing. Teaching you how to build income around your passions. And giving you a life where you leap out of bed with a instead of a. We surround you 24/7 with the greatest entrepreneurs, business owners, and dreamers online today who are ready to help you get going. They followed the simple steps laid out for them and saw their lives change forever, and you can do the same. So are you ready to change your life, explode your income, and create the dream life that you have always, well, dreamt of? Then join with us today by heading over to joinupdots.com and look for Dream Starter Academy. We look forward to working with you. See you on the inside.
David doesn't want you to become a faded version of the brilliant self you were once to become. So he's put together an amazing guide for you called the 8 Pieces of Advice that every successful entrepreneur practices, including the 2 that changed his life. Head over to joinupdots.com to download this amazing guide for free, and we'll see you tomorrow on Join Up Dots.